What are these balls?
Oh, do you want some balls?
I guess to send you some?
Yes, please.
We're
Are
chiseling
they
our
cold?
jaws. Silver balls. No, but this one that is not balls. This one does stay cold.
Cool.
Do you want me to send you some balls?
Yes.
You do? Okay,
Anne
email
Marie
me your
wants some
address and I'll
balls.
send you some balls.
I will.
So Anne-Marie, I asked for some too, and literally they arrived like next day prime. I mean, Tamar was like, I'll send you some balls, and poof, they were there. The
That's
balls
amazing.
were in my presence.
What do they do?
Well, I don't know,
It
but I
drains
like
your
them.
it drains your lymph nodes.
Oh.
It's like
Okay.
a massage.
It helps. Yeah, it's like, yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to rub balls on their face?
Nobody I know doesn't want to rub balls on their face.
Yeah, no, that's no.
It's a hard no.
Except for Lane. Lane's like, nope, I'm
Lane's
out.
Like,
That's
nah.
a hard no to balls.
Welcome to the Sober Curator podcast, where sobriety isn't just a lifestyle choice, it's the ultimate life hack. I'm Alysse Bryson, your fearless guide to a world where hangovers are canceled, fun is mandatory, and we still know how to shut down a dance floor, just with better shoes.
And I'm Tamar Routly, aka T-Bouge, your co-pilot, chaos coordinator, and the one who keeps Alysse from turning this podcast into a full-blown reality show. Buckle up, sober party people.
From lifestyle and travel to pop culture and zero-proof cocktails, we're serving up the stories, trends, and guests that prove sobriety isn't just about what you're missing. It's about finally remembering where you left your keys. Let's get the party started. Welcome back to the Sober Curator podcast, where we pair pop culture with mocktails and drop truth bombs about sober living. Today, we're talking about something that affects millions of women, yet somehow still gets whispered about like it's Voldemort. Yes, my friends, we're talking about menopause, but fear not. Oprah, who also does not drink alcohol, has officially cracked it wide open with her new ABC special, The Menopause Revolution, and we are here for it, sweat glands and all. No guests this week, but if you count Oprah, Halle Berry, and Naomi Watts as part of your inner circle, and honestly, why wouldn't you? We've got a roundtable of hormone heroines to unpack. In this special, they dish on brain fog, dry spells, societal silence, and how we can own our aging with power and purpose. Menopause is kind of like sobriety's awkward cousin. It shows up uninvited, brings mood swings, and makes you question all of your life choices. But guess what? We're not just surviving, we're thriving, one hot flash at a time. So with that fabulous, sweaty introduction, I'm starting to get the sweats just right now talking about it. I would like to introduce my menopause posse. These are the gals that I don't flow with. Just, do you see what I did there? You see what I did there? And I'm super excited that they're all here to join this discussion. So Anne-Marie, let's start with you.
Hello. Hi, I'm Anne-Marie, she, her pronouns, in Washington, D.C. Just started hormone replacement therapy. And it turns out that I don't hate most people. I just needed a little bit more estrogen.
Good to know. Good to know. And Tamar Routly, she's my sidekick. You guys are familiar with her. Welcome, Tamar, to the front side of the podcast. A lot of times you're on the back side of the podcast as the producer.
It's good to be here, and I am in the throes of perimenopause, so experiencing just how nasty I can get, especially when you're dealing with teenagers. Like, I don't know how any parent raises teenagers when they're in perimenopause.
You know, I just want to stop there for a minute because when I hear the word perimenopause, I immediately think periwinkle, like the color. Anybody? No?
No.
Okay, fine.
But I just jumped to Henry Winkler from Periwinkle.
Oh, There
They're
we go.
fun.
There we go. Amy Liz Harrison, she's my ride or die. Welcome to the show, bestie.
Thanks, bestie. I'm so happy to be here with the Meno-posse.
Meno-posse. So good.
Stop it. I'm
So
here all
good.
hour.
Okay, you're here for the whole hour. Awesome. And Lane Kennedy, we saved the best for last. You're here, and I hope you're going to talk about peptides and DNA at some point.
At some point, maybe. Here I am in San Francisco, post-menopause, bringing the A game.
So can I get a clarification on what post-menopause is? Because I'll just go first as the guinea pig of not knowing what's going on with my own body. I have not had a period since the pandemic. I think my last period was in 2021. So am I post-menopause?
Dude,
I'm like, the ship has sailed?
The ship has sailed.
You
need
missed it.
HRT, I'm sure.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because I told that to my doctor, my metabolic doctor a couple weeks ago. And they were like, oh no, based off your blood work, you could totally still get pregnant. I was like, well,
No.
I'm not dating anyone, so I really don't think that's going to happen. But
No,
the ship has sailed, right?
Yeah, send me your lab.
I'm closed for business. I just want to make sure I'm closed for business.
Closed for biz.
I'm one and done. Okay. Great. Well, now that I know where I fall, I'm not periwinkle. I am post-menopause with my Meno-posse. Got it. Does anybody else want to out where they're at in their menopause journey?
Yeah, I am perimenopausal. So I was really shocked to find out that it could be like 8 to 10 year process of perimenopause. I definitely say I'm approaching like the 8-year mark of that. Yeah, periods off and on. Just started hormone replacement therapy in the last month. Yeah. And
Emery, how old are you?
I'll be 54 on Saturday.
So it started right on time then for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Happy
Wait,
birthday.
am I just an overachiever then? Because I'm 49.
No, right now they have people going through it as young as 30, like 31, 32,
Yep.
even late 20-year-olds.
What?
Yeah. It's a situation because of our whole environment that we're living in. Yeah.
Oh boy, this is really going to be a hot topic for Lane. Well, here we go. Buckle up, people. You're going to learn more in the next 30 minutes than you could possibly want to know. Mhm. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we're going to start by talking about Oprah's special. And she realized she was misdiagnosed with a potential cardiac issue. And Amy and I are your two heart disease survivors. We had different issues. We're both heart disease survivors inside of Sobriety. So that was a turning point for Oprah. That was her, you've got to be kidding me moment. So let's talk about, as curators, like, when we realize our bodies are sending us signals, not for a breakdown, but for a breakthrough. And because we're sober, we're much more in tune with our bodies and our emotions than we ever were when we were drinking. I can definitely say that for myself. I was a blackout drinker and I didn't want to feel anything except for happy, just happy all the time. If I wasn't happy, you didn't want to be around me. Yeah, you just didn't. Mm-hmm. So Amy, how do you stay in touch with your body signals?
That sounds like a George Michael song or something, but I'm all here for it. I'm 1,000% here for it. So one interesting thing about, for me, I got sober in the 12-step arena, right? And so we're always taught to look for the root cause of something, which has been really helpful with my mental and physical health too, because I'll know that a symptom of something means, I better watch this, put a pin in this, see what happens next, right? Start keeping track of things, keep it in an app or write it down or whatever works. And then you can kind of start to see patterns. And that's what happened for me. I'm pretty sure I'm undiagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I'm in perimenopause, but my symptoms have been very different from friends' symptoms. And I think the special helped shed light on that, is different people have hot flashes. Different people stop sweating. I mean, there just were all these different things. And for me, I mean, this is kind of embarrassing to admit, but I'll tell y'all, I haven't used deodorant in 2 years. You guys are probably like, yeah, we know. Because when we see you in person, now I'm just...
Now, I've traveled with you. I've shared a lot of hotel rooms with you. I have not noticed that. I would have said something.
Yeah, good. Because you're a friend. Like, thank you for that.
That's what friends do.
Yeah. So I was thinking I would be sweating all the time, and I'm not sweating all the time. So I think keeping track of symptoms has really been beneficial to me because I'm not a data person, but turns out doctors are, and they like to know these data points, right? So when I go in, it's like, here's all the data. Now you tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, and for me, when I look backwards, hindsight being 2020, I look backwards and the year of 2021 and the first half of 2022, very emotional for me. And Lane and Tamar were there for that ride, as were you, Amy, but I'm not sure we were as close when I was on that crazy train. Lane and Tamar were there with me, and it was the craziest of trains. A lot of weird decisions were made during that time. And that is an episode for another time. But I look back now and I'm like, oh, it was my hormones. It was this, it was this, it was this, because we don't talk about this. We've never talked about this. This was definitely not covered in high school. Not that I would have paid attention.
Yeah. It's one of the things that I think the documentary or the episode like validates is there's all these, symptoms we start to experience. Like last year I started getting hot flashes, right? And I've had friends ahead of me that have gone through this before and we talk about it openly. But when you go to a doctor, they don't even suggest that you're going through perimenopause. And I had heard it before that you go through it for quite a while. I think Lane actually interviewed somebody who specialized in menopause. And I was shocked. I'm like, you mean I'm already in the throes of it? Which makes sense though, because your period starts to change. You become completely irregular. Your emotions are like a roller coaster, like you talked about, Alysse. But if you go to a doctor, they don't even recommend, they don't even say, you might be in perimenopause. What are your symptoms? They're just like, oh no, you're fine, right? And you're thinking you're absolutely crazy. So as I've noticed these things, I will actually talk to my doctor and say, I'm perimenopausal right now. Like, do you want to mess with me, bro?
Would you wear that on a shirt?
Yes.
I'm just...
Absolutely, I would. 100%.
Because we can get them designed and put up on Shop the Sober Curator if you would like.
I think you should.
I'm sober and periwinkle. Got it. Yeah, on it. Anne-Marie, what did you think about the special?
I loved it. I loved it. I loved that Oprah called it a revolution because I love that word. I stand behind it. I think it does need to be a revolution. I think we need to throw open the windows and the curtains and start talking about it. I don't know about you all generationally, with your moms or grandmothers or anything. I'm still waiting for my mom to tell me about getting a period. It's not going to happen because she's dead. So I need
dark. That was dark, Anne-Marie.
In 6th grade, I had to read Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret to know what was happening. So I need the 50-year-old. I need to know what Margaret is doing now. That's what I need. Yeah, I thought the information was fantastic. Like you all were saying, just, the variety of symptoms. I know for me, towards the end of my drinking career, when I was still drinking, I didn't realize it then. In hindsight, I was definitely drinking at my perimenopause symptoms. I was drinking at insomnia. I was having a glass or two of wine to get to sleep at night, right? At the end of the day, I was drinking at anxiety, thinking that it was going to calm me down when it actually turned into anxiety all the time. I was definitely drinking at trying to self-medicate those symptoms without knowing that they were symptoms. Just thinking that I was the emotional vertigo that comes with it just felt like I was going crazy. Yeah, I thought it was great. Ear eczema for me, that's my symptom that nobody else seems to have. I've had ear eczema for 2 years. I've been on HRT for a couple of weeks and it's gone.
Wild. You did have a little nugget of pop culture, which is what I listened for. And when you talked about Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Where is Margaret now? She's in her 50s. What the fuck is she doing?
Yes,
we need to know.
Equal.
So true.
Yeah. So
Judy Bloom, get on that.
That's right. That's right. Pop culture goddesses. Let's get on it. Lane, what did you think about the special?
I appreciate it. I appreciate when Holly, a couple of months ago, I think it was back in November or something, she actually was, on the steps of California's, Capitol, raising her flag and doing all her things. And I was cheering her on completely because I've been in this world, right? So I'm like, yes, it's about time. And I think Oprah has such a great platform, right, to kind of elevate the message. And then Naomi Watts, her brand and her platform, I think it's just bringing awareness. And as to what Tamar was saying, it's like, we've been living under the male doctor, right? Like the patriarchy, like nobody's talking about it because we've gone for 50 years. The boomers, like just kind of, we're not talking about that, right? And now these Xers are starting to come into it. And the millennials are coming into going, we got to change this. Mm-hmm. So I think we're in a time right now where it is shifting. It's not going to, it is shifting. Mm-hmm. And it's fantastic that Oprah, Halle Berry, Naomi, they're stepping forward and saying, it's okay to talk about this because so many women are afraid of it. It's like, come on, this is our bodies. Like, we need to talk about it because there's other things that occur. Like the story about Oprah's getting diagnosed with a cardiac. Like, what if she went down that rabbit hole? Like, what if she wasn't smart enough? What if she wasn't Oprah and didn't have the financial resources to get the doctor behind her to start investigating? It's just like a nightmare to me. So I'm really glad that we're having the conversation.
I have a question for the group. I once heard that your menopause journey will be similar to that of your mother's. And my mom said hers was relatively like not a big deal. It just kind of happened and went away. And other than the year of 2022, when I went crazy for that little chunk of time, I didn't have any real other symptoms either. I mean, I've always run hot, so I don't know that I was running hotter or not. Like, it didn't seem, other than some emotional imbalance, it didn't seem that significant compared to what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be the Samantha Jones from Sex and the City, where she's like dripping in sweat. Like, that's what I thought it was going to be, and it wasn't. So do any of you know, did you experience similar to your mother, Tamar?
So I just want to make a comment on this because it was a question that Lena and I asked when we had done this interview, and she said no. And I just want to say thank God for that, because the only thing my mom ever talked about while she was in menopause was how awful it was. And we saw how awful she was. Like, she was not a kind person. And I never want to be like that. Terrifies me. It's like, bring out the dragon, right? And she was 44 when she went into menopause, and I'm almost 50. So, I'm grateful for that. And I don't want to go as dark as she did. So yeah, we heard that that's not actually true. And it really depends on how you take care of yourself. That can make a lot of the difference.
1,000%.
Okay. Well, that's a good transition, because this is where we go full curator on you, because this is where we're going to talk about sober living and how it intersects with menopause and what the connection or disconnection is there. And Anne-Marie, I want to toss it to you because you had some thoughts around some expectations around the Oprah special that did not get addressed.
Yeah, I was waiting for them to talk about, with Dr. Marie Claire in particular, who's wonderful and brilliant. And she just posted a salad recipe on Instagram the other day that I made, and I'll be eating it for the rest of my life. She's great. But I was really waiting for the conversation or the mention of how alcohol interferes, disrupts, maybe even delays. That's a question I have. Does alcohol use and alcohol use disorder just delay the onset of perimenopause? And there was no mention of alcohol at all. Like Amy was talking so beautifully about the connection to the body, having those check marks, keeping an eye on things. I feel the same way. I kind of, from a lens of my body is the keeper and protector of my recovery and sobriety. And so I need to be checking in. My baseline now is contentment. Like it's, I don't know if it's peace, but it's contentment, right? It's like laundry's folded, dinner's in the crock pot. Like that's a great, great day. And so anything outside of contentment raises an eyebrow for me now. And I can do that because of sobriety. When I was drinking, I was so in tune with chaos, anxiety, just not feeling great in my body. I didn't have any capacity to understand what was perimenopausal symptoms and what was from, my nightly few glasses of wine.
Mm-hmm. Amy, you have thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely do. I totally agree. And I think that, the thing about sobriety it's just fascinating and wonderful is that we have tools and we also have the ability to accept outside help in whatever form that may take for us as individuals. And so I love that, different people have different opinions on this, which is totally fine. But I love that where medication can be an assistance in some of this, we can take that. We also have the capacity to have cognitive behavioral therapy and whatever else that we want to add, we get to make and create and be part of our own healing and process. I know menopause isn't like a healing thing per se, but to be part of that new experience of who am I turning into tomorrow and the next day and next year? Who am I becoming? I love that we get to embrace that in sobriety because I was not looking to do that when I was drinking. I was out for a good time and to escape the way I felt. So I love that I don't have to do that today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Lane?
Well, no, Anne-Marie asked, does alcohol delay the onset? I think that's what you said, right? And if anything, it increases, right? Because it's a hormone disruptor. It's an endocrine disruptor. Alcohol just completely messes us up. So it's not going to stop it. It's going to blunt it. So, and that's why we're seeing younger people, right? This disruption with our bodies, our female hormone system. So that's something I wanted to bring up. And then the other thing that I thought was really interesting is the cognitive piece that people completely miss, right?
The brain fog.
The brain fog, right? The insomnia, the depression, right? This cognitive piece is so relevant for women. And wouldn't it be nice, back to Anne-Marie's point, of making a bold statement of eliminate alcohol and then see how your brain is working, right? Because the brain is already going to be backfiring with a low estrogen and hormonal imbalance. It's just like a disaster. So remove the alcohol, then see where we're at, and then start hormone replacement therapy. It changes the game completely. Ugh. It's so sad to me that we don't have another, like, doctors, again, going back to the doctors talking about this, shouting this from the roof. Like, come on.
Well, there's just all the medical gaslighting, right?
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes.
It's not great. It's not great.
No. And I can't even imagine having a hangover and a hot flash at the same time. Like, I don't get them often. And they're not, I have a friend who we went to a Pink concert last year and we're sitting there at dinner and we make light of it, right? We joke around about it. And all of a sudden she just starts sweating. Like she has those hot flashes and they're intense. And she's like, hey, look at this, guys. I'm having a hot flash, right? And we're like, ah, ha, 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 ha. For me, it's like my whole body just goes red. My face goes red. And I'm like, whoo, I'm just like heated up from the inside out. And then it goes away. But I cannot imagine being hungover and like Amy had said too, I'm so grateful for sobriety because now I get to feel these things and I get to make choices and decisions based on the way I feel. Whereas before it was like, well, I need another drink to feel better, and I just masked every single feeling I had. So like, what a gift. And to see these women, and not only just Oprah, but like Halle Berry and Naomi Watts, like powerhouse women talking about it. It was incredibly empowering. So yeah, go sobriety.
I think it was really interesting to hear Naomi talk about the intimacy of taking off her hormone patch to, be in bed with Bill. Like that didn't even dawn on me. Like I wear an estrogen patch and I was like, she got embarrassed about that. Like, again, other people, everybody's having their own experience. But if we were talking about it publicly, then there would be no shame in this. Right? So yes, I wear an estrogen patch. It's okay. I shoot my bum with a needle for testosterone. It's okay. Right? Like I take an progesterone at night. It's okay. Like all
I
of these
Botox
things.
my face. It's okay.
Right. Like, wouldn't it be nice to just have these broad conversations so we don't feel the shame in just being a woman, like just walking around as a lady? Oh.
And the thing I love about that conversation, Lane, where she talks about that experience and how mortified she was, is her husband's response. Right? Like, I was like, yeah, you married a good one. Right?
Yes.
It was like, what was it? He goes, you know what? You want me to take off my clothes? I have gray hairs on my balls. And it was so funny because she couldn't say it. And Oprah was like, he's got gray hair on his balls, you know, and how Oprah says it is just classic. And we've got silver balls here. So it just, I'm like,
gray balls. Roll it, Amy. Roll it.
We are not ashamed of the silver balls.
No, we're not.
Well, and I know you have all seen this on social. I know you've all seen the social comparison of the Golden Girls. So the women in the 50s in the 80s compared to the women in the 50s in 2025. It is not even remotely close to being the same thing.
No.
But,
look, it's Sex in the City.
Yeah. Which I can't wait for the new season. I'm so here for the new season. It'll be here before you know it, or it might already be here. I don't know, but I'm excited. We'll come back and talk about it. And I'm still shaking my balls. I just realized that. Okay. I just think that's really interesting because I think the thing is, I think that aesthetically we're in today, but mentally we're still the Golden Girls of the 80s. That's the problem.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a big problem. That's why we're having this conversation. That's why Anne-Marie raised her hand and said, we got to talk about this, right?
Yeah.
We're bringing it up for other sober women to say, hey, let's have a menopause circle. Like whatever. Posse. That's what you called it. The Meno-posse.
Meno-posse. That was good. That was good.
Meno-posse. That's a t-shirt for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
That's going in the shop for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Part of the sober Meno-posse will go on the back of that shirt.
Oh, man. And they'll be periwinkle, just to be clear in color. They'll be periwinkle.
Of course.
Clear. Yeah.
That's for sure. That's mandatory. I do think it's pretty amazing, though, that we're even having this discussion about the t-shirts, because I think there's also a reframing to the whole thing. You know, menopause in the generations north of us was not discussed, generally speaking, right? And so for us to say, hey, this is like a posse you want to be a part of. This is great. We're not going to have periods anymore. You know, we've got this life experience behind us. Like, this is a club you want to be in, you know, and to reframe the narrative on that, I think is powerful.
It is powerful. And I love being the age I am today versus what the age I used to be. I love it. I am the most comfortable in my own skin that I've ever been. And, you know, my skin used to be tighter, but I'm still way more comfortable in it.
It's the balls.
It's more cozy.
There is definitely something to, you know, to the, what do I want to say? Like, take back the crone, right? Like, like take back the crone mentality of the wisdom that comes in this, you know, season of life, which is, I mean, for me, it's like, I have zero fucks to give about a lot of things that I used to care a lot about, like hills that I would die on. And now I'm just like, no, I can let that go a lot easier, or it doesn't bother me anymore. Yeah, I will say too that like my circle of friends has gotten a lot smaller as I've gotten older. That comes with that wisdom too. Sobriety plays a part in that as well. But yeah, talking about the Golden Girls, I'm like, and following up on what Amy was saying about, you know, just coming into thinking beyond into your life, like dreaming into your life. What an ultimate gift is sobriety, to dream into your future and to who you're becoming. This could be a real celebration. And that would be the revolution, is that the menopause was seen as a celebratory state of life. And we were having crone ceremonies, right? and we're all gathering in the woods and dancing around a fire, or however you want to do it. Chili's, I don't know, like however you want to celebrate. But yeah, I just love the idea of that. This could be a celebratory moment.
It should be like your sweet 16, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's a really cool time.
A Meno-posse party. Like there could be a whole section of that at the party store.
Yes.
Like a whole section of that.
I see a branding opportunity for
Yeah.
sure.
You know, bachelorette parties over.
So
Menopause parties here.
You better trademark that quick, Amy.
Yeah.
I've already bought the URL. I've already bought the URL. You guys are way behind. You guys are way behind.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, let's move into what we like to call sober shots, our rapid fire questions. Don't worry. No one's losing their day count. Lane loves it, especially when I make her go first. So, okay. So your sober drink of choice. What is it, Lane?
Oh, Domo. Exactly. Nobody knows about that, but it's
so delicious. What?
Yeah, I'm going to write a review on it. It's so good. Domo.
Do tell.
Is this like a medical mocktail that's good for post-menopause? Like now we need to know more.
Yes.
Because that's a thing, right? All those specialty drinks that are out now, all those ready to drink, like botanical, whatever, like there's health benefits to them. They're not just marketing. I mean, they are marketing, but they're not just marketing.
This is the beverage for menopause. Domo.
Domo. D-O-M-O?
D-O-M-O. Yep. Domo.
Don't link will be in the show notes. Get down with Domo.
So good. 3 different flavors. Moscow Mule, Berry Delicious, and I think something watermelon deliciousness. I don't know.
I love watermelon anything.
Yeah, they're so good.
I love watermelon. All right. Okay, Amy, what are you drinking?
Fresca.
Oh.
You do love the Fresca. It's true.
0 health benefits, might I add.
She has these like coolers all over the house because, you know, it's like she runs like a small resort and there's just coolers everywhere and there's just beverages just everywhere. It's great. It's great.
Fresca.
And don't worry, she has recycling cans all over the house too. So it's very sustainable. Anne Marie, what's in your cup?
2 things right now. Curious Elixirs number 4, always. Number 4, because it matches my Enneagram number. And it's delicious. And then a homemade hibiscus iced tea with some rose water.
Okay. Fancy.
Super fancy. Super fancy. Tea Bougie, what you drinking?
I am pretty plain Jane. I like to stick with the Coke Zero. I do have to say, though, occasionally and not all the time, because there's a lot of sugar in there. I can't remember what the brand is, but we have a sangria up here, a mocktail sangria, that it tastes really delicious. I actually ordered way too many for the wedding, and I think I'm just drinking the last one. That was last July, guys.
Yeah, you got married a while ago.
I still order very alcoholically, but they are delicious. So I have now polished those off, but the mocktails that they're making for the sangria is delicious.
Well, and Anne Marie, you'll be happy to know when I got home today, I arrived to not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 cases of Curious Elixirs on my front porch.
I got a few cases last month too. And it was just number 1 and number 4, which delighted me to no end because number 4 is definitely my favorite.
I think I like number 4 as well. If I think back to the numbers, I don't like them all. But because I'm more of a Diet Coke drinker. Sorry, Lane. I know, judge. You can judge. It's okay.
I'm not judging. No judgment here.
Are you sure?
I love. If I could drink,
that's her treat.
I can't.
That's her treat.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Diet Coke from McDonald's all day, every day. Actually, no, not all day, not every day, but once in a while. Okay. Well, what is your favorite throwback girl boss lady anthem song? Power song that gets you pumped up by a female musician.
I feel like something from Pat Benatar would be on that list. I don't know why, but
that tracks.
She has good vibes. Like
she does have good vibes. Amy, what about you?
Okay, I'm going with Thank You for Being a Friend.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Travel down the road and back again.
Anne Marie?
Cornflake Girl, Tori Amos.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay. I like it. Tamar?
Survivor. Destiny's Child.
Oh, whoa. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If we could, I don't know, this one might be a little too crafty to pull off just off the cuff. But if we were to write a Netflix special that was like Meno-posse, right? What would we call it? Like, what would our show be called?
No, it has to be called that Meno-posse.
Okay,
It has to be Menopause, the Menopause Movement.
think
The
we
Menopause
birthed
Diaries
that
or
here.
Menopause.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We could start a podcast. I know a producer.
We could start a podcast. I don't know that I can be on any more podcasts though right now. I am tired of hearing myself talk. I really am. All right. Well, speaking of that, Tamar loves it when I wrap an episode with a Tchotchke from my house. And I know exactly what I'm pulling out today, even though I just now thought about it. It's going to be on brand, and it was gifted to me from Amy. Amy has started a collection. Well, she started gifting me a collection of items. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Golden Girls Little People set. Now, I have the Funkos. There are Golden Girl Funkos. There's 2 or 3 different designs. I have them all. I have 2 blankets from Amy. I have some socks. At one point, she was like, have I jumped the Golden Girl shark? And I was like, no. I'll tell you when you have. Just keep going. So there it is. My Tchotchke of the week. The Golden Girls Little People. Fun fact, there is a Breaking Bad Little People set.
What?
That's
Yeah,
so many.
I know. And I would have totally bought that for my kid when he was little and I was on meth. I would have 100% bought that for my kid.
100%.
100% I would have. All right. Well, that's all the time we have. I wish we could keep talking, but we'll be back because this crew here is coming back on the podcast time and time again. As you can probably figure out by now, we are covering all kinds of lifestyle content on the show because we believe that getting sober matters, but staying sober, it matters more. And anybody can quit drinking, but not everybody can figure out how to stay stopped. And so we're here to provide motivation, inspiration, and obviously some entertainment. So thanks for tuning in. This is Alysse Bryson. And until the next time, keep it real, keep it fun, and keep it sober. Thanks for tuning in because let's be real, we're way more fun than your ex's drunk texts.
If you laughed, learned, or just need more of our voices in your life, honestly, I mean, who wouldn't? Hit that subscribe button, leave us a review, and send this episode to your sober or your I swear I'm only drinking on the weekends besties.
And if you have a story, feedback, or hey, maybe you just want to slide into our DMs like it's 2012, well, you know we're here for it. Find more curated magic at thesobercurator.com. And remember, getting sober matters, staying sober matters more. Until next time, keep it real, keep it fun, and keep it sober.